Wacky, wacky Wednesday. We're back moving the chains. It's got me feeling nicey with your man, Sammy, the man McIntyre. Woo! Raiders got that dub, as I do every Wednesday. I give you guys my reaction. Raiders got the dub. 49ers got some injuries I got to touch on. Man, what is wrong with this team? My God, what are they feeding to those boys out there? They got the Stanford health thing 2 feet away. I don't get it. It's just been a recurring theme for the Niners with Kyle Shanahan at the helm, along with John Lynch. And then, sad day today in American history. I'm not going to get too much into it. You guys already read the story. Just made my heart sink as I was working out tonight and got the news. So, the Raiders got the dub. Finally beat that New England booty in Foxborough. Suck it, Bill. All those years getting harassed, getting beat up, tuck rule bullshit. We finally went to that house of horrors that the Raiders have had, Foxborough, and we got the dub. It was ugly. It was muddy. It was grimy. It didn't matter. This is a Raider team win. And the difference I had this year compared to last was they made adjustments at halftime. Now, look, they cannot play like that on offense where you get 5 just punts going back, have a great first drive and then just sputter. That's not going to work against everybody, okay? But I was encouraged by Geno Smith and the way that he got the ball to everybody, Bowers and Jacoby Myers going back to New England in a revenge kind of game. New England, he should be a Patriot, but whatever. Belichick getting on his petty bullshit, whatever, acting like a child. But be that as it may, I roll with that situation. And then, you had Bowers go for 5 for 103. And then you had Thornton making big plays. I was a big fan of his, not because I got 2 cousins that went to the University of Tennessee, but just his big play ability, the fast, the speed. You saw it. And Geno can sling that pill. He drives me crazy at times. Some of the picks he throws, I'm like, oh, no, okay, good. But I'll tell you this right now. That was an impressive win. And New England's got some searching to do. But going into that game, I didn't have any doubt that they would win. Because if you looked at roster to roster, and I'm not a homer, I'm a realist when it comes to the Raiders. I went and looked, that roster, the Raiders just better. They got better players. Brock Bowers, second best player on the field on offense. Probably the best player on the field on offense. And Max Crosby's probably the best player on defense. You could argue maybe Christian Barrymore for the Patriots, but that's about it. So you kind of got it. Gentee to me, listen, that pick was a little head-scratching when it happened. They got to do better. Offensive line has got to block better because they got to get that cleaned up. I mean, they just got to open lanes for him. I mean, his longest rush was 9 yards. I mean, I went back and watched that on NFL Live today at the gym. It was the same shit. It was running in behind the guy, not seeing. I mean, they just weren't opening holes for him. They weren't opening the Red Sea. So if they can do that, then I think the Raiders got a chance to be really explosive on offense. But they got to clean some stuff up. Now, I'm all for Geno slinging that pill, 362. I'm all for it, but you got to run the football. Like when I watched Chip Kelly last year, and he kind of got his resurgence at Ohio State, it helped he had Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson, but they ran the football last year at Penn State. Now, it did help for Ohio State. They had Mbuka, and they had Jeremiah Smith, who's still in college, who should be in an NFL team right now. He's the best receiver that I've ever seen come out of college in a long time. But, you got to run the football better. And Monday's going to be a big challenge because Chargers are going to be rested. They played that Friday night game, and they've had kind of some time to recommute. So we'll see. I'm pulling for this thing for the Raiders. It was a very nice win. And to me with New England, it's you're kind of at a crossroads. Like, is Drake May Josh Allen or is he Sam Darnold? We don't know. And I do defend him because I go back to this, and I was thinking about this today. You can't ask a quarterback that has not a lot of pieces around him to work. And New England has not done a good job. They just, I don't see any beep. I don't see any juice. And what's underwhelming is Josh McDaniels was supposed to be brought back because he's worked so well. But it just seems like the farther he's gone away from Tom Brady, not the same guy. So Great win for the Raiders. I was impressed. Gritty, gutty win. Pete Carroll getting his first win as a Raider. Got me feeling nicey. It felt great. And 1-0 start the year. We got the next 2 games. Very key to our season. We got to play the Chargers at home, which is going to be a Raider home game pretty much. It is at home, but it's not much of a fan base, okay? And then we got to go on the road to the Commanders. That's going to be a hard challenge, but we'll see what happens. So the Niners, I just read before I got on here, Brock Purdy might be out Sunday against the Saints. Now, Niners should obviously, that's probably going to be one of my against the spread picks this week. Phil Sexton, I'm talking to you, big guy. I always do that for you. But that's going to be one of the biggest ones of the weekend, I believe. But it's just still, I mean, again, this Niner team, it's an injury-rattled mess. And again, I understand they're a physicality team, and I get that. But I said this before, they're very top-heavy. And you got Trent Williams having a toe injury. He's hurt. Christian McCaffrey's got the calf. George Kittle's out for a little bit. This just starts to add up, and it just... I get the schedule's been kind of... It got handed to them easy because they had a fourth... they finished 4th place last year, and a lot of that was just the injuries and all that. I could see Brock Purdy playing. Even if he was playing, it'd still be a big spread to me. I don't know what the line is. I have to look at tomorrow. But to me, that's what I would do. But the Niners just scare me a little bit. I think they're getting old. And I didn't love their draft. I just thought it was kind of weird. It was kind of like Belichick near the end of New England with this draft. It's just... all that Kyle Shanahan stuff. GMs usually look for the future. Coaches draft to win now. It's kind of been the philosophy that I've always heard. But we'll see. I mean, listen, the Niners are still a competitive team in that division. Rams are good. It's going to be a 3-team race. I think it could be a 3-team. Arizona, don't trust them with a fucking mile because they got mental midget. Mayor Munchkinland playing quarterback. I'm out. Although I do respect Jonathan Gannon, and that Will Johnson kid balled out on Sunday. I saw some of the clips he had. Lighting up Chris Olave, throwing that screen to him, pow. And then only gave up like 4 catches for 32 yards. Was outstanding. Derek Solomon, Brody, I'm talking to you guys because you guys love Michigan football, and he was a stud. Got hurt, had some stuff go down. But nobody can dispute the talent with Will Johnson. That kid's a stud. And he is. So... that's just, I mean, the Niners, again, what cracks me up is they're 2 feet away from Stanford's campus to get all this medical attention, all this help, and you don't take it? Like, what's going on? With all the technology and all this stuff going on, it's just alarm belling to me that they do not do anything to make sure these injuries don't keep preventing. Football's a dangerous sport, I understand that, but I don't know. It's just very, very bizarre. So, last thing I wanted to touch on, because I thought this was interesting. So, I'm at the gym the other night, and I'm reading on my phone that Tyreek Hill, because Miami, that shit's a shit show right now, right? He would go to Pittsburgh. Woo! Okay, my take is this. It doesn't change much. It doesn't change much. But this is what Mike Tomlin does. It's very un-Steeler-like, And the Steelers have this identity crisis, like, I always feel like. They, want character guys, but nobody's drafted more diva or dumbasses on offense more than the Steelers. So, and I get you can take guys that, you're not going to have a whole football team of choir boys, okay? You had some guys with some screw looses. I get it. Dallas had that. Packers had that with Clay Matthews. You're just going to have those kind of guys. But this Tyreek Hill thing, I would not touch with a 10-foot pole. If I'm Pittsburgh, look, I know you're trying to get Aaron to send him out on his last ride and send him off in the sunset on a legendary career. A little underwhelming for me, but legendary nonetheless. But do what you want, Pittsburgh, because now you can get Pickens and you got Hill, but it's going to be like AB all over again. It's just going to be so much high-maintenance shit. They're going to be in the news. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got Metcalf. Is he going to throw a fucking hissy fit? We don't know. This just screams dysfunction. This is something the Raiders would do back in the day. And I'll never forget, I got to tell a story real quick. So I went to the Colts-Raider game. I'm going to that game in a couple weeks. Cannot wait for it. Love going to Raiders-Colts with my dad. It's traditional that we always have. But I remember when the Raiders had a chance to take Jalen Ramsey. And a Raider fan was like, yeah, let's get a 4th rounder. Yeah, whoa. And I'm sitting there in my head going, nope, don't need to do that. And the Raiders didn't. And they didn't panic because that would have been an Al Davis move right there. And they didn't do it. And it's helped them a lot. Now, we obviously know that the Gruden era was weird. The second go-around. But I believe that the Steelers get it, and Tyreek Hill, it's not going to change anything. It's going to be the same shit that I've been seeing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they're going to be 10 wins, they're going to get in, they're going to get bounced. It's just the same shit, different day. So, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. It's just a really big risk right now with a team that doesn't really need a lot more drama than it needs in Pittsburgh. So, that's all I want to touch on tonight. Raiders got the dub. Very sad day in America. And just Tyreek Hill going to the Steelers, maybe, and the Niners, just to recap my podcast tonight. Niners and their injury bug. So, hope you guys are doing well. Adios. Stay tuned for more content. Godspeed. Love you.